Good day everyone! Today, together with my groupmates, we are going to discuss one of the most controversial GMO crop in Southeast Asia, the bacterium Thuringiensis eggplant or BT eggplant. Under this, we'll be giving you ideas and relevant informations of what is BT eggplant, its origin and commercialization, its process, its advantages, and lastly, its controversies. So, what is a BT eggplant? Accordingly, BT eggplant is a product of genetic engineering where the DNA of the local eggplant variety is inserted with Cry1AC gene derived from the soil bacterium Bacillus thuringiensis, so that the talong produces a form of BT toxin that kills a major insect pest of eggplant, the eggplant fruit and shoot borer or AFSB. The Cry1AC is a crystal protein that is poisonous to insect pests and provides protection from feeding damage by target Lepidopteran pest. So from this manner, makita jud nato that there is a big difference between the normal and BT eggplant, cause in the normal eggplant, as what the image shows in this slide, kay daghan og daot or damages unlike sa BT eggplant which produces a form of BT toxin that kills AFSB. The BT eggplant was developed in the early 20s by Maharashtra Hybrid Seed Company. In year 2000, the transformation and greenhouse breeding for integration of Cry1AC into Brinhal hybrids was started. In year 2002 to 2006, the field trials had started, and in the year 2007 to 2009, the Genetic Engineering Approval Committee approved the 7 Brinhal hybrids for large-scale field trials. However, last October 2009, the suspension of field trials of BT Brinhal was issued and the government banned it last February 2010. As of now, the BT Brinhal or BT talong was not yet commercialized in India, despite the fact that they are the one who developed it. In some articles, na-mention dito nga mao until now, wala pa Japon ga-commercialize ang India. It is because of what happened in the BT cotton, which the pests have developed resistance to BT cotton, forcing farmers to spray lethal pesticide that causes over 50 deaths by pesticide poisoning in Vidarbha last 2017.
After years of field trials, the first country in the world that approved the commercial planting of BT eggplant is Bangladesh. Based on experimental data, as you can observe, from 2 hectares of land in 2014, it expanded into 2,400 hectares of land in 2017. It proves that BT eggplant can increase yield and reduce the number of cost and insecticide application. Philippines. In 2012, critics filed a case to stop the field trial of BT eggplant in UPLB. Philippine Court of Appeals issued a ruling in favor of critics in the following year. In 2015, Supreme Court declared that BT eggplant trials should be stopped but reversed this decision in 2016 because of the granted motion of reconsideration by the developers and co-petitioners. Unlike sa India, napadayon niyang kaso here in the Philippines hangtod sa na-approve na gid ang commercialization of BT eggplant. So technically, Philippines is the second country who approved the commercialization of BT eggplant.
BT brinjal is a transgenic brinjal created out of inserting a gene, Cry-AC, from the soil bacterium Bacillus thuringiensis into brinjal. The insertion of the gene into the brinjal cells in young cotyledons has been done through an agrobacterium medicated vector, along with promoters, markets, etc. This is said to give the brinjal plant resistant agents, Lepidopteran insect like the brinjal fruit and shoot borer or Leucinodis or Bonales, and fruit borer or Helicobacter armigera. It is reported that upon ingestion of the BT toxic by the insect, there would be disruption of digestive processing ultimately resulting in the death of the insect.
Advantages of BT eggplant. BT talong is a special variety of eggplant, given that it is capable of making a bacterial protein that resists the fruit and shoot borer, a destructive insect pest. Advantages of BT eggplant. It is non-infested, undamaged, and good quality, and it will significantly reduce level of pesticide residues, also saving on cost of insecticides and lower labor cost as a result of reduced spraying. Therefore, reduced using of insecticide and pesticide can reduce risk to human health, especially for labor cost. And it increased in yield per unit area by saving fruits from damage caused by FSB. And lastly, it increased shelf life and high yield.
Next is the major controversies faced during the field trials and along the process of commercialization of BT eggplant. We have here the biosafety issues, where GST 2019 major concern is basin daw mapilog ka-eliminate ang mga important species or mga beneficial pest, which is delicado and can pose serious threats to biodiversity. But to oppose that one, according to UPLB College of Agriculture and Food Science, BT eggplant contains a natural protein from the soil bacterium Bacillus thuringiensis. And that BT protein is para lang yun sa EFSP and is safe for humans, animals, and other non-target arthropods. Also, a study on the impact of BT eggplants to non-target arthropods revealed that eggplant varieties containing these proteins are unlikely to pose greater risk to the environment when cultivated in open fields and can be an integral component of the integrated pest management program, particularly of the EFSP.
No scientific consensus. There is a moratorium on BT Brinhal because there is no scientific consensus on its safety and efficacy. Because the states and parliament have profound misgivings about the regulatory system by AGA 2019. In recent years, pests have developed resistance to BT cotton, forcing farmers to spray lethal pesticides. This led to over 50 deaths by pesticide poisoning in Vidarbha in 2017. They also concluded that farmers do not and cannot assess long-term impacts on ecology and health, and GM-based strategy of pest control is unsustainable, which needs more rigorous and sensitive studies than those conducted so far. But according to David Ropick 2013, extensively researched and the overwhelming scientific consensus is that it poses no threat to human health and environment than any method of hybridization to create new traits in plants, which humans have been doing since the dawn of agriculture. Next controversy is about the nutrition issues. In terms of nutrition, many health researchers and scientists like immunologist David Skubert of Salk Institute, US, and Suman Sahai of Gene Campaign have argued that BT eggplant poses risk to human health as they're resistant to antibiotics, can turn medicines ineffective, and may result in the formation of new toxins and allergens. Toxins produced by GM crops can not only affect non-target organisms but also pose the danger of unintentionally introducing allergens and other anti-nutrition factors in foods. But according to ISAA, or International Service for the Acquisition of Agri-Biotech Application, the BT protein only affects FSB or fruit shoot borer and does not affect humans, farm animals, and other non-target organisms because these organisms do not have the required gut condition, pH, and required receptor to activate the toxin. BT eggplant is considered as safe as ordinary eggplant, and there has been no scientifically proven hazard to humans and animals as a result of feeding.
Next is the environmental impact, that few ecologists warn of contamination of diverse Brinhal varieties because in the environmental impacts assessment. It must be carried out by independent environmentalists as farmers do not and cannot assess the long-term impact of genetically modified crops on ecology and health. Ang fear nila diri is pasi mapareha atong tragedy sa Betikoton sa India, where insects able to make a way to resist atong existing protein nga naa sa crop. Kay ang characteristics sa insects or sa pest is kapangita ra pud sila way to survive or mabuhi. Wala ta kabalo karon gakatablan pa na sila, but in the following years is dili na sila gakatablan kay naka-adapt na sila. To contradict that claim, Dr. Lourdes D. Tailo, study leader of the BT Eggplant project from the University of the Philippines, Los Baños, or the UPLP, said that BT Eggplant is safe as it only targets EFSP. It is safe for humans, animals, and non-target insects. And BT Eggplant adoption can reduce pesticide application. That means nga kung lesser ang pesticide application, lesser pod ang chemical contaminations. So, makaginhawa ra ang environment. It is somehow refers to an eco-friendly variety. We are the Group 1, and we believe that GMO plants are just like any other plant, but they have a gene that could make them a superhero.